Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're all doing very, very well. This afternoon I have yet another movie review. This movie is a horror film from Sweden. This is spoken in the Swedish and Norwegian language, English subtitles, released in the year 2010, directed by Johan Lundborg and Johan Storm, and this film is called Corridor. I believe that the translation to this title is actually Isolated or something like that, but the English title has been made into Corridor. So Corridor is a very psychological horror film about Frank, who is the main character. He is a medical student. He is studying very, very hard to pass his last exams, but it's proving to be very, very difficult because he's not having a lot of peace and quiet because there's a lot of distractions. Basically, the distractions come in the form of Lotte. Lotte is a young girl who lives nearby in the same apartment complex, and she has a lot of problems following her because her boyfriend and her ex-boyfriend are very, very jealous of the friendship that Lotte and Frank are developing. So this proves very dangerous for Frank because he starts receiving threatening phone calls from the boyfriend and the ex-boyfriend. They say that stop talking to Lotte, otherwise we're going to hurt you. So this sends Frank down a path of psychological torment because he doesn't know whether or not he's in danger or if it's just him exaggerating the point. And so he is not being able to focus on his studies because he is trying to come to terms with the ever-present danger that's lurking in the apartment complex, or maybe there is no danger, it's all his imagination. So whether or not that is the case is something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now my thoughts on Corridor. This is yet another very, very good Scandinavian horror film. I thought it was very psychological. It pays homage to Roman Polanski films, especially The Tenant. It pays homage to Alfred Hitchcock, and it also pays homage to films that have gone before it in the Scandinavian horror genre, especially another film called Next Door. The same very surreal feeling, the same sort of feeling of psychology where you don't know if it's the paranoia of this person or in fact he is in real danger. And that uncertainty leaves a strong level of unpredictability, and that's why I think that the film works so well. It's a very, very atmospheric film. It's all about stuff that is coming from what you can't see, and that to me is evidence of a very good filmmaker, because it's so easy to splash something on the screen and being scared of what you're seeing, but it's the the ever-growing presence of dread. It's something that you can't see is what makes it so chilling, and that to me is real horror. The stuff that makes you feel very uneasy. It's not something that you're reacting to what you're seeing. It's something that you're reacting to what the overall environment is. And that to me is invisible sort of horror, and it's horror that is a forgotten art these days, and I was so glad that these two directors have brought this back. It felt like an old school horror film, and it was something that I enjoyed from the first minute to the last minute. I thought there was a strong level of unpredictability. I thought that the directors were going down a specific path, but then it's like they pulled the rug from under you and you're completely disorientated. It feels like a mess of a film that you don't know where these directors are going to take you, but that's something you experience. It's so easy to have a sense of security, and that's why I feel a lot of horror films don't work, is because they're worried to take you on a journey where you don't feel like you have control. A lot of people hate films that they can't determine the outcome. And I feel that that is playing it safe, and this film doesn't play it safe. I actually thought the ending was a great way to finish it, because it goes down a path that not many other filmmakers go down. So the unpredictability is there. The atmosphere is absolutely mesmerizing. I thought this was masterclass as far as psychology is concerned. It's very psychological horror. Norway especially are masters of this, but it's good to see Swedish filmmakers have actually come to the party, because it is films that remind you of Roman Polanski, Alfred Hitchcock. I thought the acting from the main character was very good. Not knowing whether or not he is paranoid or onto something was the film's main positive, is that you don't know who the villain is. You don't know whether or not this villain is in fact a good guy, just misunderstood, or in fact this main character is losing his mind. And I thought that, as soon as you feel like you have control of the film, it takes it from you. And it feels like it's playing games with you. And that's something that I really enjoyed. It's a very enjoyable film. I won't say that it's a classic film because of the fact it feels like it goes too short. It feels like it's over when you think to yourself, well, if you expanded on this idea, if you expanded on that idea, it would have made it a great film. But having said that, it is a low-budget movie. I thought the acting was very good. Peter Stormare, who is a very good actor, plays a cameo as one of the villains. His mysterious quality makes it, very scary, because is he a bad guy? Is he going to hurt Frank, or is Frank overreacting? And that constant feeling of not knowing what to expect, not knowing whether or not Peter Stormare's character is a hurtful guy or not, is just that level of unpredictability. As I keep saying, unpredictability is what makes the film so good, but it's over before you know it. And I just thought that if they had a little bit more time, maybe a little bit more money, it could have been made into a masterpiece. But unfortunately, the fact that it goes on for a little bit too short, it kind of hurts it in the end. But what you get is another classic Scandinavian horror film. Actually, I wouldn't say classic, but very, very good. They are the front runners as far as horror is concerned, and this is a trip down memory lane. If you're a fan of Roman Polanski, if you're a fan of Alfred Hitchcock, then you're certainly going to enjoy Corridor. I thought it was a very uneasy feeling that the film had, down to the fact that you feel like you don't have control of it. So it's a very good ending that you won't expect, and therefore it is coming highly recommended. So overall for Corridor, I'm going to give it 3.5 stars, and it's coming highly recommended. Alright guys, that's my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later.